Good afternoon and welcome back. Today we're taking a look at screencasting. Screencasting is this phenomenal thing that teachers are turning around and using it for their flipped classrooms. Now, you might be saying, Eric, why are we using screencasting when we've got YouTube? Well, the last screencasting software I have for you has just the answer. But more before that, screencasting creates a lesson that only you can deliver as the teacher. You might say, yeah, there's a YouTube video out there teaching that, but you know your students, you know where they are, you know what learning targets you want to hit. So screencasting can be pivotal for you flipping that classroom. Now, what does screencasting have to do? First, screencasting needs to be recorded and reviewed. This can be recorded by the teacher or it could be recorded by the student. Say a student wants to record something where they are giving their presentation so they don't have to do it in front of the classroom. Maybe it's a teacher trying to record their lecture when they're gone on break or they're flipping their classroom. In any case, it has to be able to be recorded, but then it has to be called back. So if it's being recorded and it's being buried away somewhere, it's not going to be very good. Students need to have access to these lessons outside of the classroom, which means that they need to be able to be downloaded or they need to be somehow offline accessible unless you don't have this limitation of resources. Resources can be a huge stopping block for students trying to flip and teachers trying to get their classrooms flipped. Because what do you do for a student who cannot watch the lecture at home because they don't have internet at home? Or maybe they don't have a computer. Either way, students cannot simply, they can't just poof, they have a Chromebook. Poof, they have internet at home. These resources need to be put in place for students. And students lead busy lives. Students are getting busier and busier every year, especially in really small districts like mine. Students may be in 3 different sports, in 4 different clubs, and they have all of these other obligations besides the classroom. If I'm trying to flip my classroom and tell my student that they have to watch a 40-minute video and take notes, that's a lot of homework for them. So students might have a lack of time, but on the other hand, teachers are busy too, right? So teachers being so incredibly busy, they might not have that resource. Now, knowledge and attitude are kind of similar, where this technology needs to be able to pick that whoever's making the video, probably the teacher, needs to be able to pick it up really fast and send it out. So, and of course, you're going to get some attitude from teachers. They're going to be pushing back. You're going to get attitude from parents and students. People are always going to be resistant to change, okay? But these screencasting softwares need to be able to be, you got to be able to pick them up really fast, and they have to be really easy to use. And even though there will be naysayers, you still got to push through, okay? So the first one I want to talk about is called Screencastify. Now, I love Screencastify. It was the very first screencasting software I've ever used. I know lots of teachers that use it. In fact, there was this researcher, Henry, in 2020. They discovered that students and instructors actually enjoy conferences either in person or by Screencastify. They used it for a conference and people really liked it. Now, Screencastify can be free or by subscription, a monthly subscription. It is aimed toward educators. It's really easy to share. And the recordings actually are set up that they will save to Google really nicely. So if you're a Google school with Chromebooks, they'll go right into there. Now I have a Screencastify Legacy account, which is somewhere in between the free and subscription, but they do have editable things in the free software. It's very slick. Now Screencast-O-Matic is what I am using for this program here, for this presentation. It's available free and it's available paid. But the video editing on here is a little more upscale. It's a little more tech savvy. You gotta be able to color code things, and they've got all kinds of transitions. It's very slick. It's aimed at education, but it's also aimed at a professional space. So if you're thinking, I'm not looking for anything flashy, I'm looking for something really simple, then maybe Screencastify rather than Screencast-O-Matic. Camtasia is that professional grade. It is that top notch. It is, it's paid only. They've got texts and shapes and things that can pop out and transitions and sounds, and it's wild. It is very, very good. A researcher named Yapichi in 2022 noticed that while this was an effective form of instruction, the cost was huge, and that goes back to those barriers, right? So if you've got the money and you've got the time to learn, Camtasia might be just for you. The last one, and here's the bonus one, as I said, Edpuzzle is beyond that YouTube video. It can be a recording, but then get this, you can build questions into the video. You ever say to a student in a screencast, let's pause the video and work on the problem. This makes students work through it. Now, it depends on how you set up your classroom, and you can set these up by classroom and assign these as assignments in Google Classroom to different classes. You can do that in this, but also, if I'm sending a video for students to just review, they might not want to work through that problem, right? So it has its cons as well. And this in the research, Cesare research showed that this requiring response was really effective for lectures that are really important that students give their feedback immediately. Anyway, that's it for me. Let me know, what did I miss? What screencasting software do you use in your classroom? I'd love to hear about it. Anyway, I'll see you next time.